This is an emergency. There is no time to waste, no time for dilly-daddle. Go check your butter right now if you've purchased it from Costco recently. There is a chance that your life is at risk. In fact, if you're watching this, then I'm already dead. Nearly 80,000 pounds of defective, dangerous butter has been recalled from Costco in an effort to save as many lives as possible in the wake of this catastrophe. Costco was selling butter without the label containing information, vital information to the consumer, that butter contains milk. And because of this, so many American lives have been put in jeopardy. Because how are they supposed to know that butter contains milk if it's not put on the label? So they've recalled 79,200 pounds. The FDA is doing their best to save us from this unlabeled butter menace. But it may already be too late for some of the stupidest fucking people on the planet. I highly doubt there's been a single fatality here from the unlabeled butter villain. I would be shocked. But if there is a single person who has dropped dead from it, they probably weren't going to make it much longer anyway if they were too stupid to fucking realize that butter contains milk. Their goose was already cooked. I'm not going to pull any punches. No reason to sugarcoat it. They weren't going to last long in the first place. The only people that have an excuse for not knowing that butter contains milk are toddlers, like actual 6-year-olds. But they're not going to the grocery store to buy themselves some butter. Like, every adult should know this by now. But I feel like we're reaching a point where there's people that unironically believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. So I guess I shouldn't be as surprised as I am. But when I saw this headline, I was stunned. Absolutely stunned. I thought it was fake. I thought it had to be. But no, it's real. The FDA has recalled 79,200 pounds of Costco butter due to the undeclared allergen. The allergen being milk. Now, to bring us back down to earth real quick, I actually do think there is a positive to take from this, aside from like the obvious silliness of people not knowing that butter contains milk. I do think there is something good here where we have strict labeling protocol and rules around labeling because it is super important. It's a life and death in some cases. If you don't have like strict protocol in place for labeling, you'll end up with like fucking Pink Sauce 2.0, where you have the dumbest label of all time that looks like it's AI generated from Cleverbot, right? Like, the ingredients need to be accurate. People need to know what's in the products they're buying because there could be something in there that could cause them harm. So labels really do matter in a huge way. You need to have these labels be accurate, and in this case, it wasn't. It didn't say contains milk. I don't think it needed to, but it didn't, so they recalled it in order to get the label perfected. So that way everything is accurate. So that is good, but it's still extremely sad that butter even needs that in the first place. Like, you should know, butter has milk. It's embarrassing that this was viewed as an emergency that needed a big recall, so that way the butter could have the contains milk label on it. Like, that is something that I don't even think needs to be present in the first place. People should know butter has milk. It's just unnecessary. But since it's been standard protocol in the labeling for so long that butter has the contains milk label, I suppose it can be viewed as a positive thing that they're taking it seriously enough to recall it to put it back on.
Costco is recalling nearly 80,000 pounds of butter because of an undeclared allergen. The butter was sold in stores across Texas and includes the Kirkland Signature salted and unsalted sweet cream butters. Apparently, the company did not list milk as an ingredient, which could lead some people to think it's dairy-free. If you do not have an allergy to dairy, it is okay to use, but if you are allergic, you need to toss it out and contact Costco for a refund.
And then once you finish that, promptly contact your local education center for a refund on all the wasted years you spent in class, because it clearly did you no good, you bumbling imbecile, and then go check yourself into Arkham Asylum, because you are fucking insane for not being able to recognize that butter has milk. The only time you will ever find dairy-free butter is when it is labeled dairy-free butter, as some kind of like vegan alternative. That is plastered all on the branding. There's never going to be a time where you see just normal butter somehow not have milk in it. It's impossible. I can't even imagine a hopeless world where some consumer is so mindless and just such a fucking drone that they go to the supermarket and pick up butter, an item they've been familiar with their whole life, look it up and down and notice that it doesn't say it contains milk. So all of a sudden they believe it doesn't have milk, and then they go home and die because it turns out they're allergic. Like that's what kind of place is this? The recalled products, which were both produced and distributed in Texas, include 1,300 cases of unsalted sweet cream butter and 900 cases of Kirkland Signature salted sweet cream butter. So none of the butter was safe, because all of it was missing the crucial contains milk label on the butter. The products all come with Best Buy dates between February 22nd, 2025 and March 29th, 2025. Sleep in fear. If you've had Costco butter sitting in your fridge recently, you might be harboring a fugitive. You need to check right now, or else you'll be tossing and turning all night wondering, do I have one of the violative products in my fridge right now? In the trading card community, misprints are worth tons of money. But in the real world, when it comes to real products, misprints cost people lives. You are not safe. If you have any Costco butter, please proceed with the utmost caution. I would recommend perhaps dressing in a hazmat suit before handling your Costco butter as you investigate the Best Buy date and try and locate whether or not it says contains milk. Vital allergen information for your butter. I love how they're displaying the Costco butter here in the articles, by the way. It looks like the wanted posters from One Piece. Like they got the butter up there like there's a bounty for it, like a reward. And I guess there kind of is. You could easily just get some free money from Costco if you have some of this faulty butter. You could just say like, oh, I didn't know that butter contained milk, and they'll give you a refund, I guess. So, I mean, that's kind of a little free money glitch there if you want to use that. But I will say, if there's anyone that genuinely bought this butter thinking that somehow it didn't have milk, you need to be put on a list for dangerously stupid people. I know I've said that a few times, and I'm only half kidding, honestly. I do feel like there actually is a level where someone is so dumb that it is detrimental to the people around them and could actually just be dangerous. And I think this would be like a perfect way of identifying those kind of threats. Absolute fucking morons that are outraged, like, how could you have let this product slip through the cracks without the contains milk allergen information? You almost murdered my whole family with this. Like, if there's anyone out there like that, that is someone that needs to be monitored because they are so fucking stupid that it is going to be a problem soon, if not already. Now, they're taking this pretty seriously from what I can tell, and normally that'd be something to be happy about, that they're being, like as diligent on it as they can. Like recently with the listeria outbreak from Boar's Head and all that. Like that's something extremely serious. That's an emergency that needed to be taken seriously. This is a fucking joke. This is embarrassing, is what it is. That it's like an all hands on deck red alert situation because butter went out there without the contains milk label slapped on it. Because they must think every American is so fucking stupid that if it's not posted on the label, they might be liable for a lawsuit because someone might be dumb enough to think that somehow this butter was in the clear and they'd be allergic to milk and die from it. Like that, do you know how sad that is? Do you know how fucking sad that is? So the FDA has not put out information on what to do if you have purchased these recalled items, nor has it shared if there have been any illness or adverse reactions from consuming the product. The usual course of action is to either discard them or return them to your place of purchase just in case. So yeah, anyway, that's the big Costco butter breakdown. That's about it. See ya.